Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the inside of your arcade. If you haven't made this outside part already, don't worry, you will easily be able to find the tutorial for the arcade building in the description below. Once you have exactly what you can see behind me, you are now ready to progress onto this video, which, if you've already done that, you're in the right place. With the arcade building itself complete, we are now able to work our way inside and we can start work on some of the arcade machines. Here are the materials that we are going to be using in the immediate future, but we will be shuffling these around and grabbing new ones as we progress. But please make sure that you have access to all of these. So I'm going to start off by grabbing this top row as we are going to make a bunch of arcade machines on this left side here. Think like old school 8-bit, Pac-Man, Mario, Donkey Kong, that sort of stuff. So actually built into this wall, we are going to begin by digging a row of 3 vertically, directly next to the row of light blue terracotta. We're going to leave a gap and do the same thing. As a matter of fact, we're going to keep doing this until we reach the equivalent point on this right side. That should allow us to make 5 machines. So once we have done that, we simply want to fill in each one of these gaps that we have made with our particular color. So I'm using a series of concrete: green, purple, yellow, red, and finally light blue. So now that we have done that, we take each one of our concretes, we extend the top and the bottom forwards like this to give us the cabinet shape, like so. We are going to give every single one of these machines a button on the bottom, which can be a multitude of different things. You have to use a little bit of imagination. We are also going to place a painting in the center of every single one of these machines. And that, of course, is just going to look like a screen of some sort. And we are going to place signs for the machine. So it's kind of up to you what you want to place in these. So if you wanted to, you could of course name each particular machine something that you would like. So, you know, like Pac-Man or what have you. But I'm opting just to write the word score in each one of these signs. So that is the left side of the arcade actually complete once we have added levers onto each one of the cabinets. So you can also kind of like jostle these around a little bit and just make sure that it looks as though, there we go, that looks a little bit better. It looks a little bit messy now. It actually looks as though the machines are being used. So we're now going to progress onto this back wall. The first machine that we're going to make on the back wall is a claw machine. It requires some sort of concrete, glass block, sea lantern, oak fence gate, creeper head. We need a lever once again, and buttons. And of course you could even add like signs and stuff as well, but I'm keeping it rather simple. We are going to place this machine, we're actually going to leave a gap of, from this corner here, we're going to find the first, second, third, fourth block in here, and we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 red concrete across the back. Just like this. And we could even dig into the back wall, by the way. That is actually rather possible. So what we could do is we could actually dig into the back wall and we could add a foundation of red concrete into the back leading up to the ceiling. So if we do that, lead all the way up to the ceiling and extend this row of red concrete at the bottom, we also need a quartz stair, by the way, an upside down quartz stair in front of the left here. And then to the right of this, 2 red concrete. In front of the first red concrete, a lever, and to the right of it, a stone button. In the center of the machine, a creeper head. And then in the ceiling here, we can actually dig this out, replace it with a sea lantern, and place an oak fence gate above this. As a matter of fact, we won't actually be able to see this, so maybe like an oak fence gate. And then we could even have something like... So this isn't a material that we have on us, but we could place like a chain above this, actually. I've only just thought about this. I'm sorry, guys. We could have like a chain. We want to flip that open to look like an open claw. And then quite simply, glass all the way around the machine, except maybe... So this is the thing. Do you think it looks better like this, with glass all the way in the top of the machine like this, just up to the ceiling? Or do you think it looks better with concrete along the top? That is a personal choice, but regardless of that, I think that that looks pretty good as is. So there we go, a nice simple claw machine. To the right of this, we are going to leave a gap of 1 and then place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 red concrete extending right. We want to extend the left red concrete up by 1, 2, and the same with the top, so 1, 2 on the right side. We're going to join it together at the top. We are now going to grab some different materials. So we've messed things up a little bit by grabbing some extra stuff, but we won't need chains anymore. So we're going to grab item frames, minecarts, paintings. We will need the red concrete again. We will also need oak trapdoor, stone button. We'll need a lever, and we also need the quartz stair as well. That might be it. So we're going to place a painting in the center here. I want something kind of... Like, this actually isn't bad. Either this or maybe like a messier painting. I'm thinking about one in particular. Don't ask me the actual name of it. I don't know. That is the one. I always call it Pig Pirate. I don't know why. This kind of looks like a pig with an eye patch. Okay. We are going to place an oak trapdoor in front of the left center red concrete. To the right of that, a stone button. Now, in front of the trapdoor, we want to place a quartz stair, and to the right of that, a lever facing forwards. We want to extend the red concretes on the left and right. We want to extend them forwards as well. And I'm just realizing now it might actually be a better idea to refloor the inside of the machine. So I'm actually just going to use the material on hand, which is blue terracotta. And then across the top of this machine, we want to have a mix of white and black concrete as well. And then on the left and right sides here, we're going to add item frames with minecarts. And the idea is that it's one of those machines where it's like a game where like you actually like sit in like a racing seat. You've got a steering wheel, like we've got the start button, we've got like a either a brake and or a gear stick, and it's just like a cool racing game where you like actually sit in the chair. I was never good at those. So next to this, we want to have whack-a-mole. So for this, we need yellow concrete, we will need item frames, stone buttons, tripwire hooks. I'm using creeper heads, but any sort of heads will be fine. Birch signs I'm going to use. Also, end rod, red shulker box. That's actually everything. We'll leave a gap of 1 here, and we will place 2 yellow concrete across the back. Extend the yellow concrete forwards by 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll extend the back up 1, 2 rows. Across the top, we'll have like whack-a-mole, and we will also have like score. And then on the actual like area where we would be playing whack-a-mole, we'll have like a creeper head here and a creeper head here, so like they're actually popping up. And we'll have item frames to signify like empty holes that the creeper heads could be popping out of. And then in front of the machine, we'll have a button and also a tripwire hook. And right of this, or diagonal from it, we'll have an end rod and a red shulker box to look like a mallet that we would actually be whacking these with. And these are always attached to the machine, hence why we have little tripwire hooks, so like it's kind of like attached. And this is looking pretty good so far. Am I right, guys? I mean, this looks pretty cool. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of decoration. So this just requires a bunch of heads and some smooth quartz slabs. So we'll want to have a little shelf here. So maybe just kind of like in a row of 3 or so, just up here we'll have just a bunch of prizes. So just a bunch of just like heads on the wall, and that's like stuff that you can win from all sorts of various games, or maybe if you collect enough tickets. And well, on the right side of our arcade, as we work our way around, I decided it would actually be better to grab some new stuff for this side of the arcade. So I have all of these materials now. Once again, please do make sure that you have access to all of these, and I'm going to start off by grabbing this top row, and I would actually find it easier to build from the front right hand corner of the arcade and kind of like work back on ourselves a little bit. So, first things first, from this corner we're going to find the third block in, so this would be the first, second, third, and we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 purple concrete, which looks a lot like magenta in this light. We are going to extend the purple up by 1, 2 rows, and then at the bottom we'll place a note block in front of the left and right blocks, purple concrete in the center, item frame, iron trap door, and then I'm going to have a purple banner in front. We are also going to have some paintings. So this is a dance machine. So it would be better if we had some of like the more humanoid paintings, for a lack of a better term. And we could even, would it look better to have some speakers on the top as well? I don't know that it would actually, so we'll just leave that as it is. But what we do need is a dance floor. So we're going to dig a 3x3 square in front of this and place light grey shulker boxes in the center and the corner blocks. We then want to place magenta glazed terracotta facing outwards in each of the 4 directions, like so. So that is how you would, of course, I mean, you guys have seen these before, right? Like, you know, an arrow appears on the screen and you hit with your foot in the correct time. That's how the game works. Well, we're going to place end rods at the end here because there's typically also a bar to like grab onto. Now, I've never found a use for this because I'm not good enough at the game, but I'm sure that there's a reason this exists. So I'm going to grab string and black carpet, string in between, and then black carpet on the end rods and on the string in between. And there we go. Simple machine. Now, to the left of this, we are going to need quite a lot of things. We will need red concrete, black concrete, white concrete, painting. We will need cyan terracotta. And then we need a bunch of stuff actually, like we'll need end rods again, we'll need string, and we'll need either red or black carpet, I'm not 100% sure. Black carpet might be better, we'll have to see. And then we will also need like blue concrete and some other stuff, of course. Well, leaving a gap of 1 between the dance machine, we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red concrete. Extend the left and right red concretes up each by 2. And then place a sequence of black and white concrete across the top of the machine. You could even have it extend forwards, as a matter of fact, and you could alternate the pattern to create a sense of depth. The actual screen for the machine, I think that we're going to just use a collage of paintings so that it's a little bit up in the air on what exactly is on the screen. I think that we are now also going to dig a row of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to dig a row of 7 blocks outwards from the bottom of the machine, and we are going to place the outer 2 rows using cyan terracotta, and the center row, I think I'm actually just going to use white concrete to kind of like look like a road of some sort. And I don't know whether originally I have a bunch of railings around the machine, and I don't know whether I like them. So it's kind of up to you whether you want to have them or not. Maybe just like a couple of railings on the front and the back. Maybe like this might look okay? Question mark? Maybe it won't. I don't know. Now it kind of looks like this machine on the right. I think it might actually look better without them, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to try it, and you can kind of figure out for yourself whether you like it or not. But we are going to leave a gap of 1 between the center of the machine, and then we're going to place a black concrete. Behind it, a colorful concrete block. Now, behind that, we need a rail, minecart. We'll also need heavy weighted pressure plates, stone buttons, and we'll also need levers. So behind this, we want a rail which in specifically flows along with the motorbike, which allows us to place a minecart in this position, and then behind this, we are able to place another wheel. So on the wheels, we want to place heavy weighted pressure plates, stone buttons on the outsides of the wheels. For the actual, like where the engine is, we want to place levers on the outsides of it, outsides of the colourful concrete block to look like handlebars. And there's our motorbike, and there's our game. I'm not 100% certain that it does in fact need railings around it. If you do feel as though that it does, I mean, could we possibly experiment with a little bit of fence or something like that? But I think it might look a little bit silly. I don't know, or chains or something. Like, I don't know that it's 100% necessary. I kind of like how it looks now. I mean, there is a possibility that maybe a little bit of smooth quartz just to kind of like streamline it a little bit. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. That looks a little bit better than some of the other options, but I'm very happy with how that looks now. So the next thing that we are going to do is make a couple of fruit machines, aka how do you say, like bandits, one-arm bandit. You guys all know what slot machines is. There's so many different words for them. I think I just threw out a few British terms there, but slot machines is the word that I'm looking for. So these are made in a variety of colours, and I'm going to go with blue, and shall we go with good old red, because I do maybe like blue and yellow actually. So we need some colourful concrete, and we need some smooth quartz stairs. We need levers. We need signs, item frames, and gold ingots. And I am actually making these machines in front of these windows, which may not be an ideal spot for these, but we'll start off by placing one here, which is going to be made using a couple of blue concrete extending up from the ground, and then right of the upper blue concrete, we'll place another blue concrete, upside down stair underneath, and we'll either leave it like that or we'll place a sign in front of it. You will figure out which one you like more. And I'm going to place sideways facing smooth quartz stairs on top. So we're going to place a lever on the right side of the machine, and we also need a painting. That's very important, and we want a 1x1 painting on the right side of the machine, something like that, and then on the left we'll have an item frame with a gold ingot. And there we go, we have a simple slot machine. So we'll leave a gap of 1 and we'll make the same thing, but we'll use yellow concrete this time. And we'll make this one ever so slightly different, and we'll see if we like it a little bit better. So we can use that, we can have the lever, we can have the item frame, gold ingot, or alternatively, if you're a bit more of a high roller, we could of course have diamonds. But thinking about it, maybe the blue machine should have diamonds, maybe the gold machine or yellow machine should have gold. I think that makes a little bit more sense. I'm also realizing that I think that it does look better with the birch sign, quite honestly. So we have a couple of slot machines. Now, we are rapidly running out of room in our arcade. It doesn't look like it at the moment, but we are going to add one more thing, which is certainly going to fill this gap here. We are going to make an air hockey table. So to start with, we are going to, from this first arcade machine that we placed in here, actually, this lime concrete, we are going to leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then we are going to place 3 white concrete extending over. We then want to place another row of white concrete extending towards the back of the arcade, a row of red concrete, and then 2 more rows of white concrete extending backwards. We want to place birch fence on the sides of the red concrete, extend up by 2, and then we are going to place, as a matter of fact, this might be better with gate actually. We're going to place birch fence gate in between the, yeah, that looks better, in between the birch fence. Item frames on the front and the back, and we are going to fill these with red concrete to kind of look like scoreboards. Alternatively, you could also, well, we could also have signs like next to them to kind of like outline the, I keep forgetting to crouch, outline the score. So, you know, something like that would actually look quite cool. Literally, ice hockey. So or air hockey, but kind of ice hockey. I mean, it is what you guys get the idea. So now that we've gotten this far, we are going to place an item frame on both sides of on the center of both sides with an iron trapdoor inside, flipped down like this, white banner in front, and then birch signs left and right. And we want to do this on both sides. So item frame, iron trapdoor, white banner hanging in front, birch sign, birch sign. Also on both sides will be a lever. This is the kind of like the thing that you hit the puck with. And I'm using a crimson button for a puck, but I'm starting to, well, they come in all different colors. I mean, you can get like red and blue and black, I'm sure, but let's use crimson. And I'm going to put the puck on this side, and there we go. I mean, that's kind of the entire thing. And if we take a little look around our arcade, I mean, it's decently filled now, and it doesn't have too much. It's just kind of like the right amount here. The only thing that you may be tempted to add is something like this, maybe like a little bit of counter space. As we walk into our arcade, we'll even shrink it a little bit, and we can have a shelf just up behind the counter, and perhaps we can even light the shelf up a little bit with like a lantern here, and maybe we'll even drop the shelf a little bit as well, just so that it's literally like right here, and we could just place some prizes. So quite often in different arcades, depending upon the kind that you're in, we can of course have win different prizes, and we could even have some more as well. So something like this would look good. It would actually be quite perfect. So maybe these are ticket prices, and we could have like an item frame here with, say, paper inside of it, and we could even, if we wanted to, like, so this is going a bit crazy, but like, you know, 10 tickets, then 5 tickets. Obviously, like, it's up to you what you know you want to kind of like place as what, but you could have like and that's how you could actually like spend your tickets that you possibly win from some of these machines, and that can be like the little desk where you would reclaim them. And I think that really does put a nice little end to our arcade. And that's it, we now have a 100% fully completed arcade. I really do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, click that little bell next to the subscription button, that'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And that's it. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!